Welcome to the Energy Waves for September 2023. My name is Nicholas Haines. I'm from the 5 Institute, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen this month so you can surf these energy waves with all the freedom and the fun that you deserve. Before we do that, I want to talk about the bigger picture that we're in, because that really matters for September and moving forward. You see, we're in a period of time that's equivalent to the beginning of the 1960s. The Chinese zodiac operates in these 60-year cycles. So 23 is equivalent to 1963. Now, what was going on at that period of time? Well, a number of different things. First of all, the big one is they were deciding how the world was going to be moving forward. The decisions that were made in the beginning of the 60s had an influence traveling through decades and decades. They're still influencing us to this day. So us here and now, we're doing the same thing. We're making the decisions now that will influence society and the world for decades and decades to come. They also, in the 1960s, they were letting go of 2 world wars, the trauma and the stuff. They were letting go of the past, of black and white, and moving into modernity, putting people on the moon. And we're doing the same thing. We're moving out of old systems and processes and moving into a whole new way of being. Now, if you want to know more about this, I'm going to run a free webinar and I'll link it below this video or the recording if you're listening after this has happened. But I just wanted to say there is big stuff going on at the moment. So there is a possibility you'll be seeing 4 things happening. The first one is we see a turmoil. Think about a wave coming in and a wave going out, everything getting all churned up. Now, what does that do to us as individuals? Well, it churns us up. It can make us feel overwhelmed and muddled, all these different things happening. And that can create incredible confusion and stress and trauma. So if you are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, churned up trauma, don't know your left from your right, and you're in a state of muddle, that is the period of time that we're in. Okay, and we have some things to help you with that, but just recognize that if you're experiencing that, then that's quite a normal thing to be doing. The thing that we really need to collectively watch out for and support other people with is that there is a temptation to opt out when it becomes that overwhelming. Now, the opting out could be people taking their own life, and we're seeing that, or opting out by distracting themselves, not being involved with life, just not engaging, just feeling this is all too much for me, and there is an opting out. So if that is you, please know that we're here to help you, and what you're experiencing now will not go on forever. It is a tumbling and a churning around. If you're churned, it will settle down. I absolutely promise you that. The second thing that we can be seeing going on is when there are old systems that are being released and let go of, there are people within those old systems that really do not want to let them go. And so they're trying to hold them on to those systems, and there's fighting and arguing. So we're seeing a very traumatic world as the old goes and the new starts to form in. Now, the new will prevail and the old will depart. But at the moment, there is an awful battle going on. So you think the world is not a peaceful place? That's because 2 things are happening at this particular time. The other thing that we have going on that I think is quite difficult for us is we're having to make decisions from a place of imperfect knowledge. So you're thinking, well, no one's making decisions. It all seems confusing. And that's because it hasn't yet arrived and it hasn't yet become clear. It will become clear. It's just not clear now. So your secret really is to kind of go with the flow as much as you can and put the energy into how you want the world to be from your perspective. The 4th thing that I think is really going on for many of us, and we'll talk about this in this theme in September, is there is an identity shift. We're shifting from one era into another era, and that does involve an identity shift, and that's traumatic. So I think that's a good time to get into September energy waves, because that's all of what's going on with this. Okay, so let's look at the first of the themes for September energy waves. Remember, if you want more about the bigger pictures that are going on, the 60-year cycle, how you can contribute, how you can be part of it, I'll do a webinar all about that, or a recorded video. The theme for September, that's why you're here, isn't it? Okay, so the first theme is thinking, thrashing, and plot twists. Okay. To understand this, you need to think about what was happening on August. August was a month, a me month, where we were meant to get in touch with our emotions, our feelings. You might have been a bit churned up, lots of stuff coming up. How do you feel about this? Do you want this? Do you love this? Do you like this? Remember, it's about choices. September, it continues that, but instead of a feeling of, do you love this? Do you want this? More of an intellectual process. We've moved from a fire energy month, August, into a earth energy month, September. So it's a lot of thinking. Do I want this? Don't I want this? How is this for me? How is this working out? So it's quite a thinking month. Now, in order to help you think and work things through, what we can do is we can do some thrashing around. Now, the term thrashing comes from the agricultural industry. You had thrashing machines, and what they used to do was they used to separate the chaff, the old bits, from the wheat, the good from the bad. So there will be some thrashing this month where you'll be working out, this is good, this isn't good. I like this, I don't like this. So that can create a little bit of turmoil, but it is there for your benefit, for your good, to help you work out what it is that you actually want. The other thing to help you, and again, it might seem a bit of an odd help, is something called plot twists. And plot twists I talked about at the beginning of this year, and it's like you're watching a film or a book, you're reading a book or a play, a television thing, and suddenly it's going along a certain way, going, oh, da, 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 and then suddenly going, oh, I didn't see that coming. The whole plot twists, it takes a turn. Now, what are the plot twists about? Well, they're enabling you to see something from a different perspective. They're there to wake you up. They're there to illuminate things. They're there to create interest in you, intrigue, excitement. And what you'll be having this month is you'll be having plot twists to wake you up, intrigue, to allow you to see things, to allow you to think of things in different ways. Okay, so there'll be thinking, thrashing around plot twists, but they're all there to serve you, to help you work out how you want your world to be and the world to be. Now, one of the things that we'll talk about when we talk about the action steps that I want you to take is this month is also integrating the stuff that went on with last month. So it's integrating what's in your heart and what's in your head, your thinking is integrating those two together. So you'll also be kind of working that out. How do I feel about this? How do I want things? And that kind of leads us to our next theme, which is who am I and what is right for me? Now, like I said, this is a time of great identity shifting. So you may be having identity shifts of working out, well, who am I? What am I about? You might be thinking about changing jobs or changing roles. Well, what do I want to do? What's this life really all about? That's what we're fundamentally questioning. So in this September, we'll be kind of going back into that. Who am I? What am I about? What's right for me? How do I want the world to be? How do I want my world to be? And we'll be thinking about that a lot. Now, if you're in that place of identity shifting, or you thinking, what's my value? What am I here to do? What's my contribution within this big 60-year cycle? What am I here to do? If you're struggling with that, one of the things you really need to do is recognize your value, what's good about you, what your superpowers are. And we have a program this month to help you with that called the Superpowers Experience. And what that does is it looks at you and your energy and what that might give or bring to the world. So if you're doubting your contribution or doubting about yourself, or you're lost, confused, or muddled, come on the Energy Superpowers Experience, and it will help you understand all about yourself. Okay, it's there for you completely free. I will link it below this video. So the who am I side, and then you're also working out, how do you want to live? How do you want your world to be? And you've been given experiences over the last few years to work out, did you like that? And you can say, no, I didn't like that. Well, would you like this instead? Yeah, I think I'd like this. So you need to be looking back on your thinking about your past experiences and saying, I really want this and I really don't want this, and putting that out into the world about what you want to be, how you want your world to be, and how you want to live, what's right for you. Okay, yeah. And like I say, we'll help you with that. The third themes this month are dreams and nightmares. Like I said, this is a time where we're dreaming of how we want the world to be. As I said, Martin Luther King 60 years ago was saying, this is how I want the world to be. This is the dream I have for the world. For some people, his dream was a nightmare. And so that might be same for you. Some people say, we want the world to be like this. We want to do this. We want to do this. And you say, that sounds like a nightmare. Can't we have a bit of love and peace and that stuff? So there are dreams and nightmares. And this is a really important thing here for you. It's really important, okay? Put your energy into the way that you want the world to be, the way that you dream of it to be. Think about Dr. Martin Luther King. He gave a dream of how he wanted the world to be. And that's your job at the moment, to dream into existence how you want the world to be. Don't get carried away and fighting going on with all other people saying about how it shouldn't be in their stress and their trauma and they're trying to hold on to the past. Just be really fixed. No, this is how I want the world to be. This is a time where you get to step into your superpowers. You get to step into your sovereignty and say, this is how we want the world to be. It's what we're all doing collectively. So just ignore the stuff that's going on. Just say, no, I want the world to be like this, and start to move in that direction. Okay, talking about moving in direction, should we give you some action steps, some things that you can do? The first one is really fits with the last bit I was talking about, is for you to set an intention about how you want your world to be and the world to be, and to be really clear and say, this is how I want the world to be, and set an intention for yourself. Now, you could put some details in there. You could say, I would like this for myself. I would like to have this sort of job that pays this sort of thing, that gives me this sort of freedom. I would like to have this relationship, or I would like society and communities to be like this. I would like to have more of this. And that's the secret, to say, I want more of this. Don't get tied up into what you don't want. Just literally say and declare to the world, I would like to have this. I will set this intention for me, and this is what I will want, and this is what I will move towards. Okay, that then leads you into your second action step. And this is to say, what identity do you need to have that creation, to have that intention? What would my identity be like? How could I move into that state of being? On the Superpowers experience, we're going to be talking about that. And then we also talk about that in a much bigger program starting in October called Energetic Superpowers and Heroic Actions, which is when we really look at what we want, heroically take action on superpowers, and really start to move forward. And if you have ever felt like you've opted out, then this is the program for you to get you back fully engaged. Okay, so work out who it is that you want to be and have to have as an identity. And the third action step, again, fits with this. And what this is about kind of building a base, or bamboo, as I think about it. Bamboo, Nick, what are you talking about? Let me explain. The way that bamboo grows is it does actually very little to see to start with. For years and years, it's laying a root system, and you can't see anything above ground. And that's what we have been doing in the world the last few years. We've been working out what it is that we want, of course, but in terms of the action and the manifestation, we've been just laying the roots and the foundation to create that. And once bamboo has laid down its roots and its foundation to do that, it then grows, and it grows at a phenomenal rate. Some of the giant bamboos will grow 3 feet, a meter in a day. And that's what's going to happen in 2024 and moving forward. We're just going to go woof. But at the moment, it is laying down the roots and the foundation and laying down the base, working out what it is that you want and how you want the world to be, what your contribution is, but it's laying that foundation now. And that's one of the things you need to do in September. So how might you do that? Well, what you could do is you could say, okay, if I was to have this identity, to get this thing, to have this intention, what would this person do each day? And you might set up a rhythm and a routine and something to do, because that's what this person would do. And this person would get those things. So you're taking these little steps, but it's foundation. Now, don't get carried away. Just something is fantastic. Just work out, okay, this person would eat like this, or this person would take some exercise, or this person would do like this, or this person would have something set up in some way. So adopt the rhythm and the lifestyle of the person, of the identity for the thing you want to have. Very, very important. Now, you might not see the results manifesting, but I promise you, you lay down that foundation, they will go woof a little bit later. We'll start later in the year and moving into next year. Another way to kind of lay down the foundation is you might think, actually, I need to clear the decks. I need to clear clutter. I need to get rid of the things that are overwhelming me, get rid of the things I don't like, and just let go of them. 2020 and 2021 was all about us letting go of stuff. It was about us tidying, sorting. And in fact, I gave a video all about clearing things out in a really simple exercise, which I will link above or below this video. That's for you. We're here at the 5 Institute for you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next month for the energy waves then. Okay, bye for now. Right, that's all done. I don't think that was very good. I'm ignoring you. You made mistakes. I know. Could have been better. I'm going to ignore you. It's also quite late in the month. Okay, I will. Bye. You get that, some critical version of you appearing when you've tried your very best to give you a bit of lip to tell you that you haven't done it right or point out some imperfection. Well, I think we all do. And what I did there, telling it to go away, was actually one of the least effective things you can do, because all it will do is it will just come back again because you have not dealt with the underlying problem. As part of the Superpowers experience, we'll tell you how to get that part of you to go away, because we need it to go away in order for us to do the stuff that we need to do. We also teach it on the 5-day mindset makeover, and to be honest, on most of the programs we do at the 5 Institute. So if you want that to go away and not come back again, join us. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.